Hey guys, welcome to day 9 of our 90 days data analytics challenge. I am super excited to have you back, and I am super proud of you for making it this far. So today we are basically talking about data visualization principles. As we are progressing in this 90 days challenge, at the end of the 90 days, I want you to create amazing dashboard. I want you to understand the data visualization principles. So you are not just creating, you are not just trying to pick any chart for any type of analysis. I want you to understand what type of charts do you use for specific analysis, and that's what we are going to talk about in this tutorial. So let's get straight into the video. So first, let's discuss what data visualization is. So data visualization, when we are done with our analysis, we tend to put it into visuals, into charts, graph, and compile everything together in a dashboard. Let me show you what that looks like. And yeah, this is a file that I'm trying to open. You remember the password protection we talked about in one of our classes? I protected this file. So if I send you this file and you don't have the password, you won't be able to open it. Alright, so this is an example of data visualization. You can first have your charts put together. So these are the different charts. So let me just do a recap for you of what this analysis is about. You remember I told you I used data analysis to grow my TikTok channel from 0 followers basically to I'm at over 27,000 followers now using data analysis. And when I was gathering the data set, this was how I gathered my data. I recorded the days, the date, day of week, month, time, the number of likes after 24 hours, the comments. So this is just the table I created, and from the table you can navigate to the other pages. So this is the data set. You can go to the pivot table from there. So this is the pivot table I created. I know I'm already speaking grammar, just relax, we are gonna get to all of this. So this is the pivot table I created, and we can navigate to the chart. So these are the data visualization, right, that we have right here. So this chart represents data visuals, right? I created this chart from this data set. So that is what we are saying, that is easier for people to understand visualization than just showing them the raw data like this. If I show you raw data like this, you can't even know what to do with it. Like, you are wondering, why is she showing us this? But if I show you this, then you can see that, oh, this represents like a TikTok dashboard. Is about content, performance, and engagement analysis. At the time of the analysis, the last time I recorded this data, I had total of 6,000 plus followers, and you can see here that I have the average views by topic. I was creating different content like informative content, educative content, relatable content, and when I created my visualization, it's easier to consume for me. That okay, for informative content is doing very well. I'm getting the most view from informative content, followed by educative, followed by relatable, and you can see whenever I use hashtag, I get more views. Whenever I post video, I have more likes than when I post photos. So you can also see this chart here represents the average views by day of week. You can see right here that it looks like on Thursdays I have most of my views, and on Sundays. So I know when the best time to post is, right? So this is just one of the analyses I did in the past, personal project, right? So this is what I just wanted to show you what data visualization is like. And I also included a link to my TikTok page. If you click this, it's going to take us directly. You can see it's already popping up the link, and we added filter to this. We can filter by the month. I think I did this analysis for 3 months. I recorded data for 3 months. So this is the monthly analysis, and if you want to go back to the data set here, we can navigate everything like that. So yeah, you have an idea of what data visualization is now, right? Now let's get back to our explanation. So visualization basically helps people see patterns, understand insights, make decisions faster. It's how data become a story, right? You don't just show people data. Now that I showed you the visualization I created, you now understand that, oh, if Tech says she post on Thursday and Sunday, according to her historical data, that means that she's gonna get high bills, right? That is a story that I just drafted out from raw data that looked like it cannot even give me any information. Do you understand? So now, what is a data story? A data story is just like a narrative built around data insight, right? It includes the context, the data visuals, and takeaway message. So when you build your visuals, there's a context to it, right? And there's always a takeaway message, just like the example I showed you earlier. So for example, you don't just say sales dropped. You are going to say something like sales dropped after price increase in the third quarter, something like that. So you had context to it. You don't just give us summary. You understand? All right, now let's talk about the key principles of a good visualization. All right, before we go into the key principles of a good visualization, let me show you what a bad visualization looks like. Now we are just going to Google. Okay, so on Google, I'm just going to search bad data visualization. Let's go to the images section and see. If you can see these visualizations, look at this. What would you say they are trying to create with this visualization? Because it's not even readable. Everything looks clumsy. Yeah, that's what we call bad visualization. It is not easily readable. But if you compare it with what we have here, this one is straight and direct to the point. We created each chart to tell one story. This one is showing average views by day of week. This one is showing the followers details count by day of the week. This one is showing by hashtag. This one is showing by type, by audio. So each of the charts represents different story. This is clear and understandable at a glance compared to what Google is showing us. So now look at this. Look at this. This looks nice, but it looks too clumsy because now we have bananas, April, lemon, April. Maybe because I'm technical, that's why I can still read meaning to this. This looks too technical. Remember, most of the stakeholders we'll be working with are non-technical, so we have to make this as easy to assimilate as possible. Now that we've seen a bad visualization, what it looks like, let's now talk about the key principles of a good data visualization. Number one is clarity. Is it easy to read and understand? So this is what you ask yourself when you create your first data visualization. Is it easy to read and understand? Second is accuracy. Are you showing the truth? So showing the truth falls back to your data cleaning. Did you clean your data before you visualize it? Right? The third thing is relevance. Does it answer the business question? So for example, the TikTok data set I worked on, imagine me now talking about maybe an influencer most viral post is now what I'm putting in the visualization, when the business question I was trying to answer is, I want to promote my page, so I want to know what I should do more so that my page grows. You understand? So it has to be relevant to the business question that you were asked. Also, make it simple. See, most of the dashboards I create are always very simple. I make it as simple as possible. I don't make it too complex because dashboard is not really, designing your dashboard is superb. Like, it is amazing. I love to see beautiful dashboards. But the first thing you should put at the back of your mind whenever you're creating a dashboard is that you are telling a story before the aesthetic, right? It is data story you are telling first. So you want to make sure that every story you are telling, at the first glance, your stakeholder understands whatever the dashboard is saying without you even opening your mouth to say, oh, this is this. They should understand what you're trying to communicate by just looking at the visuals in the first 5 seconds. So you have to make it simple. Less is more. Remember that. And the aesthetic, you want to use colors and layouts that guides the viewers eyes. You don't want to use too many flashy colors everywhere. Flashy. I'm confused. What should I read first? What should I read second? You want to keep it moderate, right? So we have common charts that we use and when to use them. For example, we have bar charts. So let me show you what a bar chart looks like. So here, the chart we have right here is an example of a bar chart. So each one of these is representing bars. All right, so this blue is bars and this entire chart is a bar chart. So it is used to compare categories. Basically, you can see for this chart we have different categories. We have informative, educative, relatable, and then we are using it to compare. We can now see that, oh, if we compare informative with educative with relatable, we can see that informative ranks number 1 if we are comparing it, followed by educative, followed by relatable. So this is what bar chart does. Number 2, we have line charts. When we talk about line charts, it is used basically for trends over time. Anything that has to do with trends, time series data sets, that's basically what we use line charts for. Let's see an example of that. Okay, so from this dashboard you can see this is what a line chart looks like. You can see that I only used line charts when I was talking about day of the week, because that is time series data. Anything that has to do with day of the week, month, year, anything like that is time series data. We call them time series data. And then you can use a line chart to visualize it. It visualizes it better, right? I'm not saying it is a must that you have to use line charts for time series data, but it is best, right? It's just like I'm giving you tip. It is best for you to use it, but I'm not saying by force by fire you have to know. You might have something more creative. It's good to explore, it's good to be creative, so you can get creative with it and find better visuals. Okay, so we also have pie charts. Pie chart is used to show parts of a whole. So pie charts, we basically use it when we don't have like too many categories that we want to showcase, so that we can show that, okay, this is taking this so percentage and this one is taking this so percentage, rest is taking this so percentage, something like that. So I'm going to show you an example of pie charts and then we are going to quickly run through the rest. You can check up the rest on Google. All right, so this is what a pie chart looks like. This is a pie chart right here. You can see that it's showing part of a whole. We have yes, we have no. The views with no hashtag is like 19%, while a very high percentage, 81%, is yes. You understand? So it's just showing part of a whole. We don't have too many categories here. If you have different categories and then you are putting it in a pie chart, it might get too clumsy and it might just confuse your stakeholders, right? So you use pie chart to create visualization with less categories. Okay, so we also have histogram. Histogram is used for distribution of numerical data, and then we have scatter plots used to check the correlation between variables. So we're going to see more of these visualizations when we start the practical class, and I'm sure you understand it better now. So now let's just talk about the colors and labels. You have to use colors intentionally, not just randomly. So we have what we call primary colors, we have what we call secondary colors. You have to make sure that you have an understanding of that. You can check the internet to learn more about the primary colors, the secondary colors, and how to use them for data visualization. You can also check out platforms like let me show you an example of platforms where you can check out dashboard and gain inspiration from. All right, so this is Tableau community, where you can see dashboards that people have created on different topics. You can come here to get inspiration on, and just for now you're at a stage where you just come and admire dashboard. Oh, I like this one, I like to create this one. You can just maybe take a screenshot of the dashboard, and when you start creating dashboard, then you can start replicating designs. You can see this dashboard, very simple. This is my kind of dashboard, very simple, and it looks great and amazing. So you want to avoid too many bright or clashing colors. You want to always label your axis and title your chart. Also, you want to use tooltip or legends where necessary. I'm not going to bother you so much with these ones. When we get to the actual data visualization, then you understand what I mean by tooltip, legends, and everything when we get there. All right, you want to avoid 3D charts that distort the meaning of what you're trying to portray. So an example of 3D chart is the one I showed you when I was showing you bad visualization from Google. And you want to avoid too many colors or too many chart types, creating just different charts, histogram, everything together on just one dashboard. You want to avoid that. You want to avoid charts that don't have clear title. Your chart should have a clear title, so they know that, okay, this particular chart, this is what it is talking about. You understand? So, and you don't want to overload one slide with too much data. Do not overload your dashboard with too much data. You can create 2 dashboards, you can create 3 dashboards if the analysis requires that, but you don't want to overload just one dashboard with too much information. Okay, so here are some tips that you can use to improve your visuals. You tell one story per chart, like I showed you from my sample visualization, and you want to highlight the most important insight. You ask yourself, what do I want my audience to remember? What do you want? So when you're having a presentation, what do you want them to remember, basically? So you have to keep testing and improving based on feedback. You will not be perfect at first. Nobody started perfect. We all just built up over time. So you're going to get feedbacks when you start working. They might say, oh, we don't understand this, or we think you can do it like this. So you want to gladly accept feedbacks and work on them, improve yourself, so that next time you are better than who you were yesterday. Okay, so let's do a quick recap. We said today that data visualization is about clarity, impact, and truth. You want to be truthful when in your data visualization. Don't tell us lie. Be an honest person. All right, and also you want to use the right charts to tell the right story. Okay, now let's move to the conclusion. We made it to day 9. We are done with day 9. This is so amazing. You should give yourself a round of applause and get yourself a very chill drink, because you have tried, honestly. So get ready for day 10, where we are going to explore different data sources. And remember to join the paid community. I mean, like, why haven't you joined? If you're getting this for free, imagine some of the tips we're gonna give you. If you have any question, talk directly, one-on-one section, mentorship. You can talk to people, like you can get to meet people and everything like that. There's a lot to enjoy in the paid community, so you can join using the link in the description. I'll see you tomorrow, and have a great and amazing day. Bye for now.